Texas and Florida because I didn't go to grad school in Texas because I was worried about being able to get a job after getting my degree, frankly. Because I was like, I feel like mental health funding in Texas is not great. I'm from there originally. So I came to Colorado to get my degree, and our professors kind of lectured us on the concept of brain drain. So they were like, yeah, this awful thing happens that's been studied really well with physicians, where people from like developing countries will come to the States or go to like Australia or other places that are just more developed that have great medical schools, and then they stay there. Which, a lot of it obviously has to do with licensing stuff as well. It's easier to get licensed wherever you get trained. But they were like, yeah, it's caused this huge issue where developing countries remain developing essentially because of brain drain. Like that's a piece of it. So I was like, man, I
Brain
feel
drain. I'm
like
still trying to I'm missing the what
so the
the fuck is
idea is that
that?
like basically all the people that pursue higher education leave their home country and they never return to provide those services to their home country.
Oh,
So it like perpetuates this problem of things not being available.
gotcha.
So yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little convicted, and my degree is in international disaster psych. So, and Texas has experienced a ton of natural disasters, especially ironically, the recent freeze wasn't as severe.
Or
Um,
that flooding was last year.
oh, there's floods like every year. There's a
I'm talking
horrible
about the
flood.
flash flood that killed a bunch of kids.
So that flood, if it's the one I'm thinking, that was actually in my hometown, and it was in
Jesus.
2015.
No, I'm thinking of
Yeah,
a way more
like,
recent one.
oh, the summer camp. That
Yeah,
was
just the summer
horrific.
camp. That's all,
Just the summer
entire
camp.
summer camp.
Yeah,
Just those kids died.
that was horrific. I think that was outside of San Antonio, if I'm not
Okay, but the
mistaken.
one in 15 was comparable.
It was very similar. A lot of kids also died in that one. I don't know if I should say a
Why is
lot.
it
I can't
always
remember.
kids?
I don't know.
Or that's what's been sensationalized or reported more maybe.
I mean,
Sure, there's a
that
lot of
too.
adults that died too. Or I guess it's easier to
Yeah.
drown as a child. To be
I
fair.
mean, maybe, honestly, yeah, like maybe they're not strong swimmers
Yeah.
or, yeah, I don't know. Actually, I've never thought about that. It's kind of dark. But yeah, there was a couple of kids. There were a few kids that were just never found. And it was like the old, I'm trying to remember, it was
That's
a
brutal.
politician. Him and his wife and his two children were like the big, like poster people, I guess, of like this incident that
Right.
happened. And
Their lives mattered more.
their lives evidently mattered
Yeah,
more.
for sure.
And they were there, they were in my hometown Wimberley on vacation, and there's this beautiful river that runs through the town. It's absolutely stunning, and they were houses near the river on these giant like stilts basically. So if the water rises, great, you're hoping it doesn't rise to actually reach the house, and it did. So they just lift off the foundation basically.
Mm.
So it carried their house down, and I want to say neither of his children were ever found. I know his wife
Yikes.
died. I don't think they found his kids. It was terrible.
Yeah, that Asheville flood was
Uh-huh.
unlike anything around here before. Apparently there were people like strung up in trees after the water receded.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like you think of flooding as like just water rising, maybe carrying houses, but like, yeah, people get caught up in trees. Like I had a friend who owned a ranch in my hometown, and they found a horse in their tree that was
Yeah.
dead, unfortunately. But yeah, it
But
was
with the mountainous regions, you get all of this mudslide and
Yeah.
water will collect and then shoot down the ravine.
Mhm. Yeah, and in Texas it happens more because the ground is so dry there. So it's a lot of limestone, which is like this really thick rock that they build a ton of the houses with. It's used for tile. It's beautiful stone. But because of that, like even drilling in a pool, I remember my parents put in a pool when I was a kid, and we had to get like an industrial sized jackhammer that was 3 stories tall to drill into the ground because
It's
like
like
it's just
bedrock.
stone. Yes. Yeah. So because of that, it floods really easily because the ground can absorb all that water.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I'm licensed in Florida for basically just disaster response stuff. I was seeing people pro bono after a huge hurricane that hit there a few years ago,
But
and
you're done with pro bono right now. You're a private pay practitioner.
she's a private pay girly. Though. So my goal right now, I can't remember if I told you this, but I'm doing immigration evaluations now. I'm moving into that space. I'm really excited.
Uh-uh.
So my goal is to do one pro bono one a year, like attorneys do. So I was like, okay, I feel good about that. Those are a short term, like not ongoing case type thing. But yeah, I'm a self pay girly now.
Nice.
It's been
Welcome.
nice.
Welcome to the
Thank
dark
you.
side.
It
I
like kind
always
of
think it's so
is.
funny, these online therapy group referrals sources where it's like they go on this whole rant about the specificity of the clinician that they want, and they're
Yeah.
like, and cannot exceed $20 per hour.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
like,
like
what?
that's someone who works at a grocery store, actually. That's
Like,
what you're
what the?
describing.
Like, fuck off.
Yeah. I had to come to Jesus with one of my clients the other day, who was like, yeah, I just don't understand why therapy is so expensive. And I was like, well, pretty much rule of thumb in healthcare is like every touch point with a billable provider is about $150. It's like the absolute bottom of the barrel
Yeah.
cost, right? And that hasn't changed since the 90s. And I was
Well,
like,
therapists are the only ones that have made that exception.
what do you mean? Like what
Like,
part of the exception?
it's very common for a therapist to accept under 150.
I know, and it makes me crazy because then they're
Yeah.
like, there's you can't complain about the pay being so shitty and you're willing to accept shitty pay.
Yep.
And it's kind of hard because like I get that people have bills to pay, but it's also like figure it the fuck out. The rest of us have. You have to find a way to make it work. But like they basically were like, well, I just feel like therapy is a calling. And I was like, I don't love that conceptually. It's a job like anything else.
Yeah.
And like I think some people are called to this. But, I think most of us are, thankfully. But like it's still a job at the end of the day. We didn't take a vow of poverty to do this. Like we're closer to your medical doctor than to your priest. So like why would you think that it's okay to not pay your family practitioner?
It's the white knights of the world.
Well, it's like
They
I
often
think
get
too,
therapy degrees.
well, that too. Let's be real. But like I think the interesting thing too is that like most people that used like, years and years ago, decades ago, people who became therapists were already wealthy. So I think that was a piece of this puzzle. And now more people who are more like lower class, middle class. I mean, I still have a handful of folks that are fellow therapists that definitely are raised in like pretty extreme wealth, but they're not really working. They just got that degree and they're like, yeah, I'm good. Or like they end up doing something else,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting. But I was like, that's
Well,
kind of.
and also when you're paid a premium, you have way more energy and capacity for the caseload that you possess.
That is the biggest change I've noticed. And
But in
honestly, you were
actuality
part of
too, like,
inspiring.
we're in a system where paying for therapy is a privilege, right? Like
Yeah,
we don't
absolutely.
have great healthcare systems. So
Right.
unfortunately, if you're poor, you probably don't receive good psychotherapy. And that's just the way that it is. And it's not my responsibility as an individual to try to go up and combat against this systemic issue. Like I'm not
Right.
doing that.
Well, and me accepting less actually is not providing better care, I think is what you're saying, right? Where it's like, if
Yeah.
if you qualify for Medicaid and you want to go to a clinic and you want to see an intern therapist, great, good for you. But like,
Well,
for
I think
those of
when
us who
you
have been, oh, sorry, go
sorry, it
ahead.
lagged a little. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, for the rest of us that have been doing this for a long time, like that's it's kind of like comparable to a minimum wage job, where it's like you expect a minimum wage worker to not have a ton of skills, and they are being compensated as such. However, when you've been doing this for a while, your compensation naturally and organically increases, as it should, as your skills increase, and just like your boundaries, how you run your business. Like it's not just the therapeutic encounter, right? It's like this is a business. This isn't just
Yeah.
like, oh, I kind of want to fuck around and make $150, $200, $300 an hour. It's like, this is my livelihood,
So I think of this getting out of grad school, a lot of new clinicians will join a group practice and they'll get like 55%, or they'll join community mental health and make $40K a year, or they'll start their own private practice and get credential with insurance. So all three of those possibilities invite in an abusive power differential.
Yeah. 100%.
And so they're in this helpless state. They are participating in it. And think about how that taxes the nervous system. How are you supposed to be a well person or energy source for a client if you're enacting those types of relationships and accepting it?
Right. It's
Like all these counselors will be like, I'm so burned out. I'm seeing 35 clients a week. I can't pay my bills.
yep.
And they're just complaining. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what
Who's
are you
winning?
doing? Like
Yeah, like who's winning from
you
that?
made the decision to do all those things.
Yeah, I mean that's a totally self-inflicted wound, which I do get, when people graduate and they want to get their hours really quickly, and like I do believe that people work at some point should serve in the public health system in some way, because like you need to be able to see
Yeah.
why all these
Especially when you
problems
start out.
exist. Yes, 100%. And like you need to learn how to do a mental health hold, like all of these other complicated things that like you're probably only going to see in that setting. But at some point it's a self-inflicted wound,
Like we live in America. This is about being a wolf. All right, let's go.
We are, unfortunately and fortunately, we're in a capitalist society, and it's like that's kind of the point of capitalism, is like if you want to get your bag, you can.
Yeah.
No one's stopping you.
You gotta do it. You can't just get involved in these abusive systems and then complain about it.
Right. It doesn't make sense. And I mean it's very parallel to the work that we do with our clients, right? It's like you have to stop putting yourself in the line of fire and expecting anything to change.
Well, I'm probably gonna lose like the small amount of following I have now. I've just castrated my following.
They're like, this guy sucks. He's so privileged. It's
some white male piece of shit.
I love that you brought that up, actually. I was talking to my grad school roommate about this the other day. So she is Taiwanese and Palestinian. And we like send, voice memos, catch up with each other. And I was like, yeah, it's funny. I feel like I've spent so much time believing I had to hate my whiteness and hate other white people in order to be a good therapist in person, honestly.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked at her response. She said she was so saddened by that notion. And I was like, I kind of thought that's what people of color have like been asking us to do. So I'm a little confused. And she's like, no one has said that. Like, I've never heard that narrative. And it made me realize, like, oh, the call is coming from inside the house. But then it was this whole cycle of like, I don't know, man. It was just very much so like, shit, I have been telling myself like this is the right thing to do. And like, it's that thing of like white people complain the most. And, it's the right thing to use our voices to like lift up other oppressed populations. But like saying that we should kind of like whip ourselves and just be self-hating is not actually changing anything. It's like a facade change.
I think people of color also probably roll their eyes at that notion if they see it.
Honestly, I think she did when she's like, no one's asking you to, and I've never even heard her take that test. Like, no one's asking you to do that. And it's like,
something in grad school is, I think it's called the white identity formation model or something. Yeah. And that's a part of the process, is this kind of self-flagellation or guilt.
Yeah. And like, I do think there's a healthy amount of that, right? Like white people have caused a lot of damage and continue to cause a lot of damage, but I don't think you can hate yourself into changing. I think we wouldn't have jobs if that were the case.
Yeah.
Well,
and for some reason, I was talking to Melissa about this. For some reason, the counseling profession has become just a bunch of like social justice warriors. And it's like there's a place to have that conversation, but it's not some badge, right? We're psychotherapists.
Right.
We're not social workers. It's not the same thing. And I think in part that's because social work was before counseling. So it's a lot of their concepts bled over into our profession also.
Well, and there's more of them. Like there's every clinic I've ever worked at, majority of the people that, I realize it's anecdotal, but it's also factual. Like there's just more social workers than there are therapists. Their profession is older. They have a larger lobby. They get paid more. They get higher availability for jobs that actually have better work-life balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta say, I'm like, this is such a privileged take. Like I'm over like being the bleeding heart. Like I can't do it. I'm so exhausted by it. Like there's certain stuff, like what's going on in Like recently, I bought myself, it's a new car to me, not a new car. I bought myself a Volvo and I was really excited. I've always wanted one of these. And the like chrome paint is kind of chipping on the back door handles. And I had a friend get in the car the other day and he's like, "Oh, Ree, did you know the paint's kind of chipping?" And I was like, "You know what, man? You can't care about everything. You
Yeah.
can't. Like, even something that small is like, I'm not gonna, I can't like surrender my peace for that shit. It's stupid."
Well, when did the bleeding heart stop bleeding?
Honestly, it's a great question. I have no idea. I
It's
think,
more of like a gradual bloodletting.
yeah. I don't know when it was. That's a really good question. Of like, I think I just got, probably a big part of it was once I left my first community mental health job where I was working with the homeless. I honestly, it was an absolute blast. I loved the people I worked with. And then a lot of violence started happening kind of out of nowhere. Like, we didn't really experience much violence towards staff. That was pretty rare, thankfully, and maybe
Became like
surprisingly.
psychogenic violence.
It
Just
was
like fed off each
like,
other.
I honestly, yes, it did
It's like
kind of
Florida
feel that
summer.
way. Literally, it's like Florida every day. The freaking student homeless, man, it's vile. But like, there was a staff member that worked at I would say like a sister organization, another homelessness like nonprofit, that was like stabbed and killed in broad daylight. And then we had like people's cars getting broken into, and we had a couple of patients like come in with a gun, and I was like, I'm good. Like, I make $40,000 a year. And I actually, my dad kind of like had a heart to heart with me and was like, I'm scared for you to go to work. Like, he actually had to get on a medication because I was working there because he like could not get regulated
So that
because
means
I would tell
you
him
definitely needed to
stories.
be on medication.
I mean, I got on medication and then I quit my job like very shortly after that.
Oh, when I worked in addiction treatment, I cracked my teeth from grinding at night.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Damn, you
And
paid
I
for
had
some
like
dentist
what
kid
is
to
it,
go to Ivy.
TNJ or something?
TMJ. Yeah.
TMJ. I
Yeah.
started to get
I don't know what that
that.
stands for.
It's very painful. It's like
Yeah, I've
tendonitis
heard.
in your jaw, like the tendons in your jaw, I think, or something. Yeah, just from working
You
there.
cracked your teeth.
Yep.
So when did your heart stop bleeding?
So I don't know if it ever bled. I think that was just. I remember being in grad school and hearing this kind of bleeding heart, white knight ism, and I thought it was gross then.
Interest. I
Because
mean,
it seemed like
I do get that.
overcompensation. It didn't seem very authentic.
Yes.
It seemed performative. Like, this is how I align and get accepted by these
Yeah.
people that are different than me.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think so. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that ever perpetuated my bleeding heart. I've worked in community mental health just because that's what I had to do, and
Yeah.
I didn't have access to any other like place or yeah. I mean, it's really hard out of grad school to find a place of employment as a therapist, and I knew I didn't want to go right into private practice, so that was kind of the only other option.
Yeah.
Private
I mean, I feel like
practice or like a crocodile den. That's really your two options out of grad school.
yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good point. Like, it's just so limited. And now it's funny, a couple of the like one of the therapists at the old clinic I worked at, she got her license and left, and she went to a group practice that hires people that are unlicensed. And I was like, man, I don't think that existed, or at least I was just not aware of it somehow when I graduated. Like, that was not. And now I'm grateful I didn't do that. I think that I'm a better therapist for all of the like work that I've done, and I wouldn't take any of it back. But holy shit, I do agree with you. Of like, my heart definitely did not bleed pre-grad. I mean, I what identify as Republican. I was super Christian when I moved to Colorado and started grad school, and I was like, y'all are so messy. And then it kind of boomeranged a little, not 100%, where it was like, oh, like extreme left, but I was like, okay, there's some like really broken problems. And then I think I got too wrapped up when working in community mental health because it's easy to believe it's on your shoulders to fix these problems in our system. And then once I got out of it, I was like, I need to touch grass. Like, I can't. What
Well, our
is the point?
programs sell us that lie.
Well, it's interesting because ours was like one extreme or the other. So our program was like, yes, you should go work in Kenya and you should cry with your clients and you should work with people. Like they would give us these vignettes where it's like every
Go intervene a
possible thing.
genocide. Go stop a genocide.
No, I'm not joking. I literally went and worked in Cambodia and worked with survivors
Oh,
of
I know.
genocide.
Yeah.
So like, and like the reality is there's not a lot you can do. And the reality is a lot of those people don't need therapy. They need resources. Therapy is not
Mhm.
helpful to them. Like they've experienced so much trauma. That's
Therapy's
not going
also
anywhere.
it's a lot of it is based off of Western philosophy
Yes.
and
Yes.
like life experience.
Right. And like it doesn't translate typically. They did do this one thing that's super cool. I can't remember if we talked about this last time, but it was kind of based on like narrative therapy.
Mhm.
And people that survived, they would meet with their therapist maybe 6 months to a year. I can't remember what the exact timeline was, but they would basically like write the story of their life. And then they would have a ceremony with like 5 or so clients at a time. We would go to a pagoda, which is like a Buddhist house of worship, and monks would be there and would bless them after telling their story to try to like kind of close the circle on their
Right.
healing and their experience. And it was so fucking cool. And I was like, this is way cooler than me just yapping with somebody for 50 minutes on my computer. You know, it's like this feels like there's real shit happening to these
Mhm.
people. Would this fly in the United States? Would Americans find this helpful? Honestly, probably not. Probably not for people who are not religious. But
Yeah.
Buddhism was so ingrained in their culture that it felt more of like this is a cultural experience and we're being kind of like reintegrated back into society as just Khmer people and not survivors of something horrific.
Yeah, it reminds me of growing up. I was a church boy, a nice little church boy, and we would have these like uh what would they call them? Like a shoebox adoptees or something? Like you give them a shoebox
What?
worth of shit.
I've never heard of this in my life.
Oh, yeah. But like you'd send them pencils and I don't know, other stuff, and then you'd have this postcard of like who it was for in some African country. And
Oh my God. I heard about this.
yeah, it was like a big thing in the 90s. And then
Yeah.
I referenced that in my memory a while back and was thinking, huh, like maybe some kids don't even want shoes. Like who am I
Also,
to assume
they
that?
have shoes. They have shoes. When
Yeah.
I was a freshman in college, I lived with 2 girls that were from Nigeria. And I was like super into like wearing Toms. I genuinely just liked the way that they looked and thought they were comfortable, but I liked to kind of virtue signal and be like, yeah, it's so important for everybody to have shoes. And
Uh,
they made so much fun of me, Evan. They literally were like, they were like, you know, that company just like literally dumps those piles of shoes in the middle of the desert
yeah.
in Nigeria. Like, no, also, we don't need them. Like, shoes are a very easy thing to make. We actually don't need those. There has not been a need for that. And
Hmm.
I didn't even know until living with them. They're like, there's so much money in Nigeria. I was like, girl, I didn't know. I thought I was doing
Yeah,
a good
diamonds.
thing. Yes, I
Yeah.
thought I was justifying being a capitalist pig. And the reality is, like, they weren't doing anything that was neat. And, like, maybe they did. I don't know, but it wasn't happening in Nigeria.
Well, the ironic part is Africa, it has some of the most natural resource, so objectively it should be
Yeah,
one of the
thriving.
richest, like best suited
Yeah,
places to live. Yet,
yeah.
like the imperialism and capitalism, we've just completely fucked them the last number of hundreds of years.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. It's like they have systems that work well for them. Like I'm sure y'all talk about this in grad school, the whole concept of like dead aid and like volunteerism, where people go over there and like build wells and shit. If I literally now, if I have clients that are like, yeah, I go to this church and they're gonna build a well, I'm like, you need to get the fuck out. Like, get out. You don't need to go to
Well,
church anymore.
it's also like, come on now, the ploy isn't to give them water; it's to save them and put
Right?
them in
We're
heaven.
saving them. Well,
Yeah.
and I was like, have you done any research on like what that does? And I was like, what if they like it? Like, have you actually considered that they enjoy the time they get to spend together walking to the well? Like, there are tons of stories about this. There's entire textbooks about it,
Hmm.
about how like domestic violence goes up when access to resources is actually closer because that's women's quality time in many tribes where they get to walk together although it's 20 miles a day, that absolutely fucking sucks for us. But that's their culture. That's the time that they get with their friends and their family while their husbands are working. It's like you take that from them.
Yeah.
It feels backwards, but it's the reality
Well,
of the
it goes back
situation.
to, even on a micro to a macro level, it's true, is to not assume what a client or society needs. You have to listen and ask.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to. And like, there's been so many fights about this in disaster psychology where the reality of the situation is communities just want the money to fix the problem. They do not want the government to come in and assume what needs to be fixed and fix it.
Yeah. It's like, I like Christmas money more than someone give me presents, you know?
Absolutely, because then you can decide. And like you might upgrade something that like you didn't realize that you're like, oh, I didn't realize I really needed a new one of those. But, like, I'm gonna go for it. But
Yeah.
like people don't like the white savior complex of someone coming in and fixing it for them. It's like, you
Because
don't live in
we've
this
just
community.
historically done it wrong every fucking time.
Every fucking time.
So,
And the reality is, these people
we don't have a
fit,
good
like,
track record.
we sure as shit don't have a track record self-hating white, okay? Like, there's a reason for that. Like, we fuck up a lot. And like, I don't feel like we're great at taking accountability for that.
No, it's only like 40 years later whenever nothing can be done.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, everyone thought they were doing their best. And it's like, I don't think anyone thought. They just did. They just went for it.
Yeah.
They didn't ask anybody what they needed. Ugh, it's ridiculous. How has your caseload been recently?
Pretty good. It's usually slower right now, but
Yeah,
it's pretty much where it has been. I don't know. I probably see like 16 to 20 people a week right now.
that sounds lovely. I think I'm in such a slow era of my practice. I think
It's slow, you said?
Yeah, but like in a lovely way. Like I'm really, it's slow because I switched to mostly cash, so people dropped in how frequent they're being seen. But I'm like making a little less, but I get to go to the dog park every day with my little doodle, and I get to exercise every day, and I get to have my makeup completely done every day, and I get to eat 3 meals a day. And it's like, this is
So you really were overworking. That just sounds like my life for the last 5 years.
honestly, I really wasn't, but like I don't know. It was just easy to get super caught up in like doing all this marketing shit and all this stuff. And I was like, we were talking about this the other day, but I was just like, I'm just over that shit. Like, I just need to, like, I lecture my clients, like, you don't need to be growing all the time. Like, you need to acknowledge where you're at and be comfortable in that sometimes to be able to, like, actually rest and then grow again. So I've been sitting in that, and I feel like a pig in shit. I'm having a good time.
I've been doing this.
Yeah, which like I wasn't doing my makeup, my hair, which makes me feel really good. I also developed a really cute and fun habit in graduate school where I started ripping my hair out. I don't do that anymore. I think I just needed to have like enough of a central nervous system break. Because honest to God, I don't think I've ever really overworked myself in private practice. Like I've had 3-hour lunches every day, but now like today I have a full day. I think I have maybe 5 clients today, but
that's enough. That's a lot.
Yeah.
6 is my limit.
6 is also my limit, and I only have 2 days a week where I do 6 because I'll see people. I like starting my day at 8 a.m. Like I've noticed that about myself. I'm like, if I start later, I'll sleep in and it kind of throws everything off, and then I'm still somehow running late. It just like doesn't work well for
My
me.
clients always usually cluster in late afternoon for some reason.
Mine always cluster early in the morning. Oh, I mean, I also, because I'm licensed in multiple time zones, it helps with that as well. So mine cluster between 8 and 11, and then again between 2 and 6. So, but yeah,
I guess I just take out the 8 and 11 and do the 2 to 6.
I honestly, I'm like, something about my circadian rhythm is like, I have to start at 8 a.m. Like if I've tried to start at 9, I'll sleep in, and then like, I just kind of, I don't know what it is. It throws me off so much that I end up just feeling kind of like out of whack for the whole day.
Yeah. Having stuff in the morning definitely helps. I am not a morning person.
What I do, I go to the gym during the week, like 3 days a week pretty regularly, and I go at 5 a.m. And the reason for that is because if I if I am awake enough to make a decision on going to the gym, you can bet your ass I'm not doing it. And so I have to do it at a time when I'm like not even awake. So I set my alarm for 4:50. I literally sit up and get dressed in the dark, like with my eyes still closed, and then go down to my car. And then I'm at the gym by 5:15. So I like go to a class at 5:15. I'm like, I just need to get told what to do and then I can get the fuck out. And it is so nice because then I like will forget that I even went to the gym by 9 a.m. You
You go
know?
to sleep, or you wake up around when I go to sleep.
That's insane.
Yeah, I go to sleep
What
at
are
like
you
2 or 3.
what are you doing all night?
I don't know. I'll watch stuff and then I'm reading. I'm like hamstering around. I don't know.
Hamstering, can you define that for me?
Yeah,
Use
it's
it
just
in
you like rummage through your place and stuff without any actual task in mind. And nothing happens, and then an hour passes.
well,
Hamstering. That's pretty much how I live my
hamstering.
life. Actually, I'm just hamstering.
I feel like that's me like throughout the day. Like I get that done. I mean, honestly, when I get back from the gym, I shower and then I read for almost 2 hours. Like when I start my
Like fiction?
session. Yeah, I read. What am I reading right now? I'm getting more into Kristen Hanna. Have you read any of her stuff?
Maybe. I don't know the authors. I
Dude,
know titles
I think you would like
sometimes.
it. So, The Nightingale is her most famous one.
Yeah,
It was
I
like,
read that.
yeah. I haven't read that one yet, but I read my friend's husband gave me The Great Alone by her.
I
Really
saw
good.
that recently, actually.
Yeah, it's. I think you would
Hold
like it a
on, is that what I'm
lot.
reading? Hold on a second.
Is it an orange cover?
Wait, it's about Alaska?
Yes.
Oh, I'm reading that right now.
Oh my gosh, do you like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm
Yeah.
like too tired half the time reading. I always only read at night, so
Yeah.
like the last week I think I've read maybe 2 pages and then passed out, which is not it's not very efficient. I don't
I
even
mean, I do.
remember what I'm reading.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Well,
that's weird. We're reading
it's
the same book.
yeah. Well, I just finished The Great Alone, and now I'm reading
Oh,
Magic Hour, and that shit is. I mean, I think you'll end up The Great Alone. There were moments where I was like, "What is the point of this?"
I'm right
And
there.
then
Yeah.
some shit goes down of it, and some real
Yeah,
shit.
they're right where they've gotten to Alaska and they're getting oriented.
Oh,
So it's
oh
not
yeah, you
super early on. Or it's
yeah.
not super
There's
late on.
a. I think for therapists, her books are really entertaining because I didn't know. No one's ever mentioned this to me before because all my friends that have mentioned the book aren't therapists. But there's always a mental health component in her
Yeah.
books. Yeah. And so I think they've talked about it where like the dad clearly has PTSD from serving
Vietnam
in the
vet.
war. Yeah. And like he does some stuff that it kind of gave me imposter syndrome a little bit. Like there's a behavior that they describe that he does. I was like, I've never heard of a vet doing that before. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think they said he would pace. He would get really nervous when it rained. And I was like, and they talk about how he was a prisoner of war. And I was like, I wonder if he was in a space that would flood when it would rain. Like what is
Mm-hmm.
the reason for rain being so upsetting for him? But it's pretty good. It was dense, but when you finish that, you'll have to let me know what you think. The end is fucking crazy. But
Nice.
dude, Magic Hour is like so it's about this disgraced psychiatrist who was disgraced because she sees teenagers and one of her clients shot up the school and then suicided.
Wow.
And the parents try to sue her and all this shit. If you can believe it, that part is actually like pretty minimal details. Like that's kind of all you know because it just starts with her like being in court basically and getting sued. Um, she obviously wins the case, and it's not obvious, but like her client never endorsed anything violent. She was like, I can't believe I missed this, but like the client never ever said anything about like violent tendencies, access to weapons, like nothing, and like had no indications of anything like this ever happening. So naturally, the families are trying to sue her, and reasonably so. They want someone to blame because it's nuts.
Yeah.
But she ends up being called back to her hometown where they found this little girl that is like feral. Like she has been living in the woods. She can't speak. She walks on all fours.
What the fuck?
It's
The cat.
fucking crazy. They find her in a tree with a wolf pup. and like she howls when she's upset. And they were like, is she on the spectrum? Does she have selective mutism? Like, what is this? It is so fascinating. I'm about like 75% of the way through, but I think you would like it's crazy shit. It's like community mental health type shit of like, it
Yeah, I'll check it
almost
out.
feels like this is so insane you can't make it up.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. But you're at a good part of the Great Alone too, where it's like you get to meet up like local characters. But yeah, it's a nice strong like community, and there's this lady Large Marge that's like the baddest bitch ever in that book.
Yep.
I'm really excited to hear what you think about it.
Well, I used to watch this trashy reality show called Life Below Zero.
What
It's
I
about
mean, I love reality TV, but I've never heard of that.
it's just people in Alaska in their own homesteads.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
So you'll love this book then. It's basically what
exactly.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like them bracing for the winter and like
that kind of reality TV, like the outdoorsy reality TV, is very comforting to me because it was around a lot when I was younger, like late night TV.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I don't think I've
that
ever
or
thought about like reality TV
like
outside.
HGTV home improvement shows.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. That was
Just
like
it's like a fall asleep to it.
that. What? Oh my god! My husband just texted me and said, "Sorry to give bad news. Catherine O'Hara died.
Who's that?
The mom from Schitt's Creek."
Oh, how old is she?
I don't know. That's crazy.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, if I'll show you a picture of her, you'll definitely know who she is. She's also the mom in Home Alone.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I love Home Alone.
Oh my gosh. 71.
Yeah.
What the fuck? No.
Unexpected.
Yeah. Damn, this just broke like half an hour ago.
You're live.
You're live. Oh my gosh. That's so sad. I'm obsessed with her. Okay, well, I just figured out my Halloween costume for next year. Now I get to be Moira. Amazing. Ugh.
Kevin!
That's fine. Damn it, Kevin. Ugh. I saw something online where they were like, they should make a Home Alone, but with her as Moira from Schitt's Creek.
I didn't realize it was the same person. Mm-mm.
Yeah, because she's an incredible actress. You should watch Schitt's Creek. It's incredible.
Well, and Ginny from Forrest Gump was the woman in House of Cards, which took me 5 episodes to realize.
Oh my god, I never realized that.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
What's her name? Robin Wright?
Yes, I think so.
I'm honestly shocked. I do not know. Like, I get made fun of so much because I do not ever know celebrities' names. So, like, this is not a good representation in my memory typically with celebrities. I don't know who anybody is.
Maybe at some point we should do an episode where we review Jenny's attachment system and mental health. The girl was crazy.
Yeah. She was something else.
It was fucked up.
I mean,
and to do that to like an autistic
to do someone
dude
who's intellectually disabled, like what the fuck, girl? Like, yeah, that movie would man, what's that saying? It's like it wouldn't show on a trotting horse or something. That shit would not fly today.
Yeah. Be like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Be canceled. She wouldn't be able to do another movie. It'd be like the guy in Joffrey in Game of Thrones, how he can never actually play a part again.
So I could not get into that show because it's like so violent, which is funny because I feel like I'm a pretty dark person, but like I'm also not like a fantasy. I think I'm too rigid to enjoy fantasy. I'm like, that's so stupid. That would never happen.
Yeah.
Just
there's a fucking dragon. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't mind the dragon. I'm like, I don't know. There are pieces of it where I was like, I don't know. Like I tried to read like A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I was like, I'm good. I don't know.
I did read all the Harry Potters for the first time 2 years ago.
I love those.
That was cool.
Those. I thought that was really interesting. But it's like something about fantasy and violence in my mind. I think Harry Potter has the right amount of violence. Like the way that it's portrayed just like sits well in my brain.
It's very behind the curtain, the violence.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like I don't really like gore. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm like, I just don't find that. I don't find it entertaining. I understand why other people do. I just don't.
Yeah. I've strayed away from that more as I've aged, I think.
Honestly, same. Like I also really liked to watch, like I loved true crime and loved watching scary shit. And I remember in grad school, this girl who was mentoring me was like, you're gonna start to notice that you can't enjoy that shit anymore because your clients' stories will sometimes be what's happening in these movies that people think are really entertaining and scary. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, and she was right. She was absolutely right. Honestly, The Great Alone is a perfect example of that because, like, there's clearly like domestic violence happening, or it's a veteran. I was like, I've heard this story 1,000 times. And one of
Yeah.
my friend that loaned it to me was like, that book changed me. I cried. I did not have that reaction to it. I was like, this was, there is a twist that shocked me, but, like in a good way that you will enjoy. But
Well, it's just
yeah,
more
I was like,
familiar. I think
it's so familiar that it's
being
not
a
entertaining.
being a therapist, we're so hyper exposed to other stories. It becomes
Yeah.
normalized, and then you might talk to someone who's not a therapist when they read something, and it's so impactful. Yet it's our everyday experience.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's a little bit isolating.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who find things entertaining, I'm like, that's not entertaining. I've heard that hundreds of times.
Yeah.
That's not
Well, and
interesting to me.
like if a book's written well, that gives someone a unique insight and
Mhm.
like a touching to a story that they don't actually probably experience anywhere else. But that's a
Yeah.
common theme with a therapy dynamic. If you're
Yeah. I
touching your
mean,
story, but like most people I don't think really experience that. They might with a partner, but maybe
mhm.
some friends, but usually not.
Yeah, thankfully, usually not. It's interesting because like, are you familiar with Colleen Hoover, who wrote that book, It Ends With Us?
Mm-mm.
You would fucking hate it. It's terrible. But it's like a very surface level, like, romance book or whatever. They just made that movie. It's like that thing that Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have been fighting about forever. They were in that movie
Oh, I
together.
know vaguely about that, but I never saw anything
Yeah.
about it. They both need to shut
Yeah.
up, I think.
They
I'm not
both
sure.
really need to shut the fuck up. Like, I can't wait to never hear about that shit again. I'm like, I think you're both terrible. You both bury
Reminds me
each
of the.
other
Did you ever see the
sufficiently.
Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff?
Yes. What do you? I'm like torn. I'm like, I don't. I think they're both toxic.
I mean, probably. Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
think really
very
good
rare
or
that when you're in such a toxic dynamic that both aren't
it's one
contributing in a
person.
similar way somehow. However,
However,
her affect and presentation was inauthentic, like unquestionably.
yes,
I
I
don't know
agree.
why. I can't speculate that. However, I can say 99% certainty that was bullshit.
I also felt that way. I'm glad you said that because, like, watching that with other people that are not therapists, I was like, I feel like she's definitely dramatizing some of this. She's downright lying about some of this, and like some of the videos were terrible. I mean, he of course seems like a mean drunk and an asshole, but like,
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this got taken way too far. And man, one of my old therapists that I saw, he specialized in like one of his specialties is domestic violence. And he had kind of said the same thing that you said, or it's like it's pretty rare that when something is super toxic, it's just one sided. But I think the general population believes that, like, wants to blame the narcissist.
The man.
It's
Really.
always the man. It's always the man.
Yeah. I always love it when I watch a show and the woman's cheating. I'm like, thank fucking God. Like,
That's entertaining to me. This
like
is
why does
cinema.
it
I'm
always
like,
got to be
yes,
the
thank
male
you.
lawyer with the secretary? Like, come on,
It's
that's
so
lazy.
boring. It's so fucking boring. Did you watch the show The Hunting Wives, where it's like all these wealthy women in Texas who are just like fucking each other, basically?
No,
I was like,
that's pretty
this
funny.
is cinema. This is interesting. Like, what? I'm
Yeah.
so tired of the same story over and over. Fuck.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's like everybody gets their fair share of infidelity. It's not gender based.
Yeah. No. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Are you watching anything good right now?
I'm watching The Beast in Me.
I haven't seen that yet. Do you like it?
Well, I was watching it like a couple months ago with my girlfriend. We made it like 20 minutes and thought it sucked. But I think it was like we were just moody because there was all this
Mm.
reverberation of positive review throughout the last couple of months and from friends and stuff. Like, man, I just need to hunker down and watch it again. And it's good. I don't know what I thought it was awful. It's like I turned it off.
Interesting. I Yeah, I have a hard time taking people's recommendations because I have that experience more often than not of like, this is not good. But I think I build it up too much in my mind. And
Yeah.
then I don't respect that person. And it's like this weird fucking tornado of like, what the fuck were you thinking recommending that to me? It's terrible. Have any of your clients brought up heated rivalry to you yet?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it is this show basically. There's like this like dense cultural component to it where it's about these two hockey players, professional hockey players that are gay, and one is Chinese Canadian and one is Russian, and both cultures where it's not, very acceptable to be gay. And I've had so many clients like, have you watched it? Have you watched it? It's so good. It's so wholesome. That shit is straight up OnlyFans. Like it is porn. And I was watching it with my
It's like
husband
gay
and I was like,
softcore.
it's not fucking soft. It's
not
on
even
HBO.
soft. It's
It's
aggressive.
like they're literally like hour episodes, and they are, I'm not joking, probably 35 minutes of them fucking. And it is like,
I bet they all have hogs too.
I wouldn't fucking know because I
It
was
doesn't
going to
show?
fast forward it. I
Oh.
don't know because when I was watching with my husband, who is pathologically straight, and I was like, all right, we'll fast forward through the sex scenes because I thought it was going to be like 2 or 3 minutes.
It's like 20 minutes.
It's majority of the show, in fact. There's actually like not a lot of plot
That's pretty great.
outside of that, except for like the Russian guy. I mean, we made it through 2 episodes, and I was like, I can't do this. Like,
I gotta tell
there's
my
like,
gay friends about this then. Just assume they
Oh.
want to watch it because they're gay.
I'm here to tell you, they've seen it. Like, it is like anything anyone can talk about right now. I'm shocked none of your clients have brought it up. But all my clients like, I need to know what you think. I'm like, I think that people think it's like, oh, it's so culturally dense. It is not culturally dense. It is not
Just
surprising
sex.
that you cannot be
Yeah.
gay in Russia. Shocker. They're oppressive. Like, that's not surprising.
You can't be gay anywhere.
You can't be gay anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, that's so Western that it's like tokenized to be gay.
No,
like,
it's
read a fucking book.
heteronormativity is the entire world.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It makes me crazy too. And people are like, oh, like the narrative of people be like, oh, I just have to leave the United States. Like everywhere else is so more progressive.
Yeah,
it's like,
shut the fuck up.
Oh, bitch.
Bye.
You have
See
never
you later.
traveled if you think everywhere else is more progressive. Like, no. I had a client
Also,
like,
it's
I
like
live.
there's this someone I can't remember who said this, but it was pretty profound to me. Where it's like if you have very hyperbolic or extreme views about anything, you've been actively manipulated.
Oh my gosh, I never thought about that.
So that would be regardless of left or right swings.
Huh.
You're being
That makes so
manipulated
much
somehow
sense.
because you're not capable of seeing the counter argument, and
Yeah.
you refute and distance yourself from it by like thinking, oh, I'm more virtuous, or I'm more
Right.
I've done the work, right? A lot of therapists weaponize that. Like, oh, you just need to do the work. It's like, oh, well, you're kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, you're
what
an
if the work
egotistical
is your
maniac.
personality sucks? Like,
Yeah. But also, if
Then
someone
what?
says, oh, they need to do the work, they're implying that they've somehow been enlightened with information or self-development, when that actually represents that you haven't, if you really believe that.
That is one phrase. Like if I am doing a consult with a client or something, and they're like, especially if people bring up other people in therapy,
That's
have you
how I'm
noticed
thinking.
that?
That's how I'm thinking about it. Like
Mhm.
they
And they're like
just need to
constantly
do
talking
the
about
work.
others.
Yeah.
I'm like, if we're talking about others all the time, that means something.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that talking about other people needing to do the work means that you're doing the work?
Yes.
What is the work?
Well, it stops them from wondering what theirs
Reflecting.
is.
Oh, exactly. Like it's so transparent, and I feel like the first few years of me being a therapist, I would let people get away with that shit because it was also easier for me.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm like, I don't give a fuck what your sister was wearing to the party last weekend.
Mhm.
In fact, knowing that burns me out because I don't care.
Well, also thinking of people that share long stories with a lot of detail that is not interesting or informative. You have to think
Yes.
of how that might impact like their marriage or
Yes.
someone
They're
relationally they're
social.
close with.
Yes, their
Because if you're
socialization. I'm like,
feeling like that, then their husband is probably like that stereotypical droning on wife. It's like, here she goes again.
dude, I have a male client that does that. And
Yeah.
I saw him for a really long time, years and years ago, and I was very early in my career and now has come back. And yeah, I was like, I think we might need to test you for ADHD. Because I was like, I kept thinking in my mind, and I've said this to clients before, of like, I'm getting paid and I'm getting frustrated with you. I'm
Yeah.
concerned about how this is impacting your social life.
Oh
If
yeah.
I'm frustrated with you and we're meeting once a week for an hour, how are other people in your life able to show up for you? That's
Yeah.
alarming.
Yeah. I have some friends that they just go on these tangents, and I'm like, I mean, I have ADHD, and I don't do that. I'm very in storytelling. I tell the highlight.
Aware. Yeah.
I don't
Well,
get distracted by like some nuanced detail that doesn't matter.
I think it's also like the awareness of having ADHD, right? And I don't know if you take medication, but like I'm so inconsistent with mine. I go on like a yearly what's the word I'm looking for? Like protest of taking my
Sabbatical.
medication. Yeah, truly. I'm like, no,
You
I'm
you
good.
become
I'm
med
good. Okay.
non-compliant.
Yeah, no, literally I am. I'm like, I actually was like scared. I had an appointment with my psychiatrist the other day and I was like, so I'm doing my yearly protest of not taking my
Yeah.
medication. You don't need to be alarmed. I do this every year. And then my life has to fall apart about 1%. Like I forget to pay a bill or something. And then I'll start taking my medication again. So like I don't need the lecture. And he's just
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll send it in. I was
Well,
like, so
does
that's what
it
I'm telling you. You don't need to send it in.
does it
But like,
shift does it shift your mood or not really?
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
Because
say my
I
mood.
coincidentally I was speaking with the last guest I had was she
Yeah.
specializes in neurodivergence, and we were
Yeah.
talking about ADHD a lot. So I'm
Yeah. I
basically
mean,
I'm basically an expert now. So just share what you need with me.
so ironically, I do consider myself an ADHD expert because I took this insane continuing education that was like it was 40 hours. I was in way fucking over my head, but it is one of my specialties. But I
Yeah.
do think that the privilege of like taking medication makes you more aware of your behavior when you're not on the medication. And so I think it can prevent those long
Mm-hmm.
droning stories. And the interesting thing too is like when I worked at the Coalition for the Homeless, we had, I think this guy actually still is like the director of medicine or chief of medicine, whatever. Sweetest guy in the world. Like literally, I had a client like submit a complaint against one of the physicians, and he called her to talk about it. And she came in to have a session with me, and she was like, I spoke to this guy who was like the dad turtle from Finding Nemo, like, you so totally rock, Squirt. And I was like, yeah, she said he gives eighth grade art teacher vibes. And I was like, you are spot on. But staff would sometimes get frustrated with him. He's such a sweet guy, but he would tell stories in a really circular way. So he would start with the most important detail. And then as the story went on, the details would get less relevant and it would cause people to lose interest. When with people who typically like are neurotypical, they tell stories in a linear way, which is also very westernized. In lots of countries, like especially in the East, like in many parts of Asia, they do tell stories in a very circular way. So
Mm.
it's weird of like neurodivergence in the way the brain conceptualizes things and prioritizes things is actually more aligned with like Eastern thinking and storytelling. And linear is more Western. So I'm so curious like how ADHD shows up in cultures like that. Like I wonder if it I mean it definitely is something they still treat, but I'm like, I wonder if it's like as annoying, you know?
Uh, and I wonder how long it's been around.
I do too, because there's this whole theory of like, oh, it's been around forever and that it used to be a strength where people with ADHD would sometimes get distracted by something moving and it would actually save their life. Where it's like if an animal is moving their peripheral vision, they saw it, but someone who's neurotypical didn't. Or their pattern recognition really helped them figure out like where food was or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just don't fucking know. I don't know. Because it does feel like not only are we more aware of it, it does feel like it actually is becoming more prevalent in culture.
I don't think screens help in development.
It has to be a part of it.
Yeah.
COVID also felt like a big piece of it, of like people not socializing, was just, it felt like it really set people back cognitively.
Yeah, so I was looking up, I was trying to remember something she talked about I hadn't heard before. There's these three concepts: masking, adaptation, and compensation. So those
Say
are
more.
like responses to, like, if you think of ADHD,
Yeah.
I was thinking of ways that I've created some kind of adaptation. So I am able to do like 6 things at once,
Yeah.
right? Like the way that I work, I figured out how to use it in such a way to where I do a lot of shit.
You get a lot of stuff
Whereas
done.
whereas like if I didn't have this way of having like 10 pots on at once and like remembering how to balance all that in my own like structured chaos, I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
be as effective.
Yeah. Well, I think too, when you've had it for so long and you've been aware of it, I guess even it can happen if you're not aware of it too. I typically refer to it as like systems with my clients, where I'm like, okay, where are your phone, your keys, and your wallet right now? And they can always name them because they're always in the same spot. Because if they're not, they're gone forever.
Oh, that's me. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like that's
It's in a
sometimes how
black
I will
hole.
ask.
I also
Yes,
have
like
air
that's
tags.
dude, I have AirTag. I still have my AirTag on my old car that is totaled. It's still
Yeah, I
on.
actually,
I can swear it is.
every time I get an air tag on something, I never lose it again.
I have an AirTag in my wallet. I mean, but it's like a system that you've
Yeah.
created, right? But it's like you're never gonna lose that shit again. It's
Something she
amazing.
also talked about, I had never thought of for some reason, is the blowback of having like parents that have some sort of neurodivergence that's untreated and how it impacts the child relationship. I was like, holy shit, why have I never thought about that?
When it goes both ways, right? So like if you have a neurodivergent parent and kid, I mean just
Hmm.
butting heads all of it's one extreme or the other. It's like you're butting heads or you're so in sync because you understand each other very well. There's no in between. But if you have a neurotypical parent and a neurodivergent kid, holy fuck. Like those
Yeah.
fights are crazy. And that will destroy a relationship forever. It is
Yeah.
so
I
wild to me
think
because
I
the
am
parents
pretty
like they're
sure
lazy.
I'm pretty sure that's the dynamic between my mother and I, where
Mhm.
I don't throw around autism very loosely at all, because it's like misused. If someone struggles
Yeah.
socially, they're autistic, from
Yeah.
like
Oh
a
yeah.
layman conceptualization. But I'm pretty sure she's like high functioning autistic.
What makes you think that?
Like her lack of affect, socialization, concrete thinking, inability to be flexible, and very, very extreme
To an extreme. Yeah.
ways that they do not make sense, and it's run the course of decades. It's not like
Mhm.
based on one situation.
I love that you brought this up because it makes me crazy when people are like, oh, ADHD and autism, like they're so similar. It's like they can be, but they also can be polar opposites. Like the way that it presents can be different. Where ADHD, it's like we can also struggle with rigid thinking, but it can also be the complete opposite, where it's like we don't have a solid opinion on things and it's wavering all the time. Also,
That's
because
me.
like those
Yeah.
I feel that way as well. Like I feel like my opinion wavers on things a lot because I'm always open to new information, but sometimes that can be really taxing where it's like, okay, living in the gray also costs something energy wise, It's like it probably would be easier to have like to be more rigid in some ways. I mean, you lose with that as well.
Because you can have
But
decisiveness.
right. Yeah. Which like I don't know her. I am so bad at being decisive. Like when I have ADHD clients, honestly, I'm like, please, like if they're trying to get back into the gym, I'm like, just fucking find a gym that has classes. Like go have someone else tell you what to do for 45
Hmm.
minutes to an hour. Like stop. If it kills you to put all this energy into like meal prepping and going to the gym, like don't do any of it then. Like
Yeah.
find a way to make this easier for you. You don't need to do something because it's intentionally hard. Like you
Yeah.
don't need to literally just do things because they're challenging. It's okay to like need rest and need an easier way to do something.
Yeah.
Makes me
We're gonna
crazy.
play that back to you for you later.
to need
you're
rest.
speaking from personal experience.
Well, the session I had before this, we were talking about that. So my client, my door, was like, I feel like I grew a lot over the last year, and I want to continue growing. And I was like, I want to challenge that. I don't think that should be your goal. I think your goal should be like actually practicing gratitude this year. And he was like, yeah, I guess you're right. Like I was like, you're good. You don't, I was like, I want you to literally think about like how you imagined your life now when you were a teenager.
Yeah.
What did you imagine? And he was like, I honestly thought I'd be living in poverty. And he was like, I've actually exceeded all of the goals that I set for myself. And I was like, that's honestly why I asked you that question, because I knew that was going to be the answer. And that's rare as a therapist. I was like, to my own horn, I knew you were going to say. And I was like, that's the point. It's for you to like, this is your touch grass moment of like, things are actually good. You don't need to keep pushing yourself so hard for the sake of just having more. And we talked a lot about capitalism and how it's so easy to push yourself to do that. And it's like, for what? What do you need more money for? You make enough money.
Yeah.
Do you live the life that you want to live? Seems like it. You got a sick house. You have a great life. You go on vacation when you want. You go where you want to go. You stay in nice hotels. Like, think you're good.
Yeah. The jump between like being comfortable to extremely wealthy, it's a big financial jump. So like if you just increase even if you increased your revenue by like $100,000, it still wouldn't, because you'd probably just save more and you might go on like a vacation. But you're gonna get taxed all to hell. Like you got to make a lot more money when you're already able to go to a restaurant and not worry about the bill. Like that's what separates a person from being stressed about money, is someone that can't go and do those more frivolous things. But then to jump to that next level that everyone's chasing, you got to be making 10x
crazy.
what
it's
you're
not
making.
like, oh, I want a 10% raise. It's like, no. Like if you think that you'll be able to afford that modern mansion in the neighborhood next to you by just making an extra 30 grand, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like that's light years away. And it all goes back to like, why? Why do you want that? Is that the dream that you set out for yourself? And if it is, then fucking go for it. But if you want to just be able to tell people you have it, did you want it in the first place, or you just want your ego to be fed?
Yeah, I've got to figure that out with myself, where I last year S-corped my business and then gave myself a small salary, all that stuff. And then I automated all these different like investments throughout the month.
Yeah.
Like retirement stuff. Like, all right, well, that's responsible. And then now what, right? Because this is responsible, but I also don't want to be a squirrel saving nuts.
It's like really fucking. I just had this talk with my financial advisor last week, and he was like, "You're doing
I need
really
to spend
well."
this.
It's like, wait,
I need to spend stuff on me more.
It's really hard. It's like boomer. Well, and it's like, it's the same concept as like when you're working in communal health. There's such a scarcity mindset because you are just scraping by for so long that it's like once you actually have a little bit of disposable income, like literally some of financial, you stack it away. But then it's like balancing spending money on yourself and putting it away is truly a skill. It's very hard. And I was talking to a financial advisor last week, and he was like, "You're doing really well. Like he was like, if you want to pay off all your credit cards, you can. Like you guys can do whatever you want." I was like, I didn't really, it was such a mind fuck to me. Like I did not expect to ever hear that. So it's like, what do you mean I'm doing well? Like what she was like, you're putting more money away than you ever have, and that's so good. And with ADHD, I'm so used to being shit with money. So I was like, I didn't ever think I would actually reach this goal. And it like, I think I had vertigo for a full 24 hours afterwards because I was just like so shocked. And I was like, huh?
And well, being self-employed, it's also hard for me to take actual time off because I don't work Fridays. And so, I can say I'll stack all my stuff on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm gone Thursday through Sunday. And that gives me that time. But I can't remember the last time I just took a full week off.
It's hard. I had to do it for my wedding, and I was like, I did it for my wedding for my honeymoon, and I was like,
You didn't like
This
it?
was financially, I hated it. Like it was
Yeah.
very hard to prepare for.
But
And
you were definitely in a different spot then than now, financially, based on what you just said.
well, I went on my honeymoon a year ago. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
like a
realize
year
that
ago.
soon.
But we had saved up. Yeah, we got married 2 years ago, but then we wanted to do like a longer period of time off from work. And so we wanted to do a bigger one. So we went to New Zealand for 2 weeks, which was like 10 grand.
Mm-hmm.
And I had not budgeted enough for like our bills for us to continue having income while we were gone for
Yeah.
myself.
Just double
So
hit.
thankfully we had money in savings, but I was just like kind of panicking about money the whole time. So I was like, man, and like even just figuring like how much do I pay myself, and like do I pay myself as a W-2 and all this shit, which I S corped as well. So now I do a W-2, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I fucking hate managing the money side. I'm like, I don't even make enough for me to have like somewhat like a money guy, but like I understand why people who make like have disposable like a lot of disposable income have someone that manages the shit for them, because it sucks ass.
Yeah.
I hate nothing more than having to figure out, okay, how much should I pay myself? What I need to set aside for taxes, all this shit. I don't know how to do any of this shit. Like it's so dense.
Do you have a bookkeeper?
Yeah, I have an accountant
Right.
that does a lot of stuff
Yeah.
for me, but I wanted to be more hands-on with payrolling myself, because I was like, I want to W-2 myself so I can have FMLA and all that other stuff. But even when I was setting all that up, it's like, yeah, you got to register at the state for that. And I was like, I don't know how the fuck to do that.
I
don't
hate
want
doing that
to.
shit. Secretary of State
Ugh.
website for North Carolina at least is archaic.
I
You get
have
the like
no doubt the
fax
Colorado
stuff.
one is too. Oh no.
I just faxed something the other day. I'm like, what the fuck?
I say that as if I don't pay $30 fucking a month for a fax for my practice that I've used 4 times.
Oh,
It
just
pisses
use.
me off every
Oh,
time it hits my card.
I found a free one. Fax Zero.
I'm gonna download that. Yeah, because I was like, $30 a month. Fuck. Like I might as well just buy a fax machine.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, faxing that, and like why are
Why are we
places
still
giving us
faxing?
receipts? Why are we doing that?
I don't fucking know.
Because even when I tell you I don't want a
know.
receipt, it prints out. Why are we doing this?
Especially CVS, like my
Yes, it's
my
a
anger.
roll of receipt paper.
It's like this could
Why?
have made a roll of toilet paper. Like my rage knows no bounds when I get a receipt that's as long as my fucking leg, and I'm like, not to be a
It's
bleeding
so
heart
insane.
bitch, but like, what are we doing? Like,
It's
what
so
are we
crazy.
doing? I was like, also, I'm not returning fucking nail polish to Walgreens. Like, can we not? Can we not?
Yeah, it's like $2. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fucking. It's not $2. It's like 8.
Oh.
But I'm like, my time is literally worth more than the time it would take for me to come back here and return this shit. So like, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Or even, honest to God, even like the fucking grocery store. I've never returned something to a grocery store. I'm like, if something goes wrong or I don't want it, I'm throwing it away.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it away. I'm not returning something that was $4.
Yep.
It's insane.
Fucking receipt paper.
Fucking receipt paper pisses me off, especially CVS and Walgreens. Like, they typically want you to put in your phone number, so it's like, your ass has my phone. You can text me a receipt. I don't mind a texted receipt.
Yeah.
You don't need to print me a piece of paper. It
I
killed
found
an
out your
entire
passion
tree.
today.
What about paper?
Receipt paper. You like sat up in your seat.
No, it like my anger around that topic is so incongruent to like how problematic that actually is. Like
it infuriates me. I get it.
Also, as an ADHD girl, I had a goal for when I bought myself my car that I have now. That I was like, I'm gonna keep it clean. I have been the person where like, you know that John Mulaney bit where he's like, yeah, you know, you go on a date with a girl and like she turns in her car and all these papers just like slide across the car. That was me forever. And I was like, I'm not doing that shit. And so my car, I like vacuum out my car, I wash it. Did I tell you about my custom plate that I got?
No.
It says Dr. Yap on it.
Oh man.
I love it so much. I was behind this lady the other day who had a plate. It's a Dr. Behavior, and I got in front of her, and next to her was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so funny!" And she was like,
yeah, she's like, we gotta get out of here.
And she's like, "Oh, this bitch is crazy." Okay, but I told myself I keep my car clean, and guess what? The fuck clutters up my car? Receipts.
Yeah.
It makes me nuts.
We should normalize burning them in the trash cans at the stores we get them in. Just creating a little fire.
I think we should normalize burning things more often, generally.
Yeah.
I conceptual like as far as like psychologically goes, like helping clients get over shit. They're like, yeah, like, I had a friend fall out or whatever. I'm like, write a letter and fucking burn it. Watch it burn. Film it. Don't care. Burn it. Burn it down. I sound like a fucking arsonist. I'm like, burn it. Just burn it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It can be very cathartic for sure.
Yeah. I mean, my husband has been getting into this like weird hippie shit where it's like, I don't even know. It's like a card thing. It's like a spirit animal card game thing. I don't know. It's not a game though. It's like a fortune telling thing.
Magic the Gathering?
No, but we did get Dungeons and Dragons recently, and I've been fucking loving it. And I've made fun of people forever for that shit, and I'm like, I get it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It took me 13 rounds of the game for me to actually understand it. But
lot going
now I'm
on.
there. Shit is crazy complicated. Oh my god. And now I have a new respect. I mean, we have like the pre-made board game, not the one where like you fully like make the universe and shit. But damn, that shit is complicated. I was like, this is respect to the game. This is absolutely wild. I just lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
Burning receipts, burning letters.
Oh yeah. One of the things it says on there, like in one of the little cards, was like, oh, if you're experiencing stress with like some aspect of your life, it like recommends flame gazing, like just watching something burn.
Flame gazing.
It's literally what it's called.
I think we just found the title of this episode. Flame gazing.
Maybe so.
Flame gazing receipt paper.
Flame gazing. Is your therapist an arsonist? Find out now. Yeah, I thought that was so weird. I was like, you know what? It sounds so dorky. I'm like, I would love to know the psychology behind like why burning candles is so, like I literally have a candle burning right next to me and I always have one burning during sessions. It's so calming.
Well, fire meant life throughout a lot of our history.
I like how you just sounded like a caveman. Fire meant life. Fire life.
I mean,
Fire
can you
equal
imagine?
life.
Like throughout winter months, like what fire meant to humans.
Yeah, that's a good point. My mind keeps going back to the great alone. Like
animalistic about like being cold by a fire and staring at it.
It is so nice. It's so nice. Like it's just like
nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. And honestly, I feel like when I am sitting by a fire, I'm not thinking about anything else besides like how physically comfortable I am.
Entranced by it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's something about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to research that after we get off this. Like, what the fuck is that? It's very strange. Huh.
Has it been snowing up there at all?
Very little. We've had a very, very mild, like alarmingly mild winter. When they said this like snowstorm was gonna hit like across the country last weekend, it was our first like decent snow, I would say, but it was still 3 inches, maybe. It was very much like business as usual in the winter for Denver.
How about in the mountains? Snowing a good bit there.
I actually don't know. I think that it was super dry for a while. Like they didn't get their first snow until, I'm trying to think, I want to say after Thanksgiving, because I had a couple of clients that have moved out of state that will then come up here to visit for the holidays. And they said they were like skiing on dirt in some points because it was just like there was nothing there. Yeah. It's really weird. Did y'all get like the winter storm in North Carolina last weekend?
I was actually in Florida when it happened. They got 2 to 3 inches of ice. There's still some ice. I mean, it's been cold as shit the last week, and it's supposed to snow 5 inches tomorrow. So if that happens, that doesn't happen in
where you are in North Carolina.
Yeah, that does not happen.
Where are you? Are you like in the Raleigh area?
No, I'm just north of Charlotte.
Wait, what city? What are you in a smaller town?
Yeah, Mooresville, Lake Norman.
Oh, I know where that is.
Yeah. How do you know where Lake Norman is?
I don't know where Lake Norman is, but I know where Mooresville is.
Even weirder. How do you know that?
Because we were looking at moving to the Raleigh-Durham area, and we were looking at Raleigh-Durham, and then we're looking at Charlotte, and then suburbs like outside of Charlotte, and so that one popped up a lot. We liked the houses there.
Yeah, Mooresville is huge now. Crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I feel like North Carolina is just like
When
popping
I
off.
grew
It's
up, there was
nuts.
a gas station and like a fucking Bilo here. That was it.
What the fuck is a Bilo?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Sounds like a I think like those Chip and Joanna, like the
It's like a cheap grocery store.
so it's like a bodega. That's so chic.
Bodega. That sounds really bougie. It was not bougie.
I mean, a bodega is literally like a hole in the wall convenience store that typically has a cat that's like watching
Okay.
guard over
So
things.
Charlotte bodegas are a little more posh. They're trying
So
to be
that
like
means you're posh.
they're gonna be like hip.
As much as I hate to admit it, one of my New Year's resolution this year is to lean into my whiteness. After my grad school roommate called me out for being a self-hating white. And so I've been like leaning into being more of a basic bitch and like I'm getting Starbucks more and like drinking stupid energy drinks. And you know what?
Hold on.
Never been happier.
Well, good. I'm gonna definitely clip that with no context.
I mean, it doesn't need context. It's real.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
leaning
that
into my
energy too because
whiteness.
they definitely somehow have marketed that to women. I don't know how because there's nothing like
You know what?
outwardly.
I am the
Those are good
dumbest
though. The
bitch in
peach one.
school. Oh, I've never tried the peach. I am a sucker for good packaging. I think it's cute as shit. And you
Yeah.
know what? I can tell it's signed by a girly, and I'm a girl's girl.
Yeah.
This shit is so good. And you know what? As an ADHD girly, I'm sure you've experienced this too as a fellow ADHD girly. Energy drinks don't do shit for us, but that shit just tastes like heaven.
Yeah, it just tastes good. I wish energy
I
drinks
know.
did something.
I know, I do too. But then I'm like, oh yeah, our like ADHD, at least the like hyperactive component, is like being on an energy drink all the time.
Well, and
it's right there.
I ebb and flow through nicotine use, and
through nicotine. Interesting. I thought you were gonna
that
say between inattentive and hyperactive, and I was like, I feel that way.
no, because I smoked cigarettes till I was 18, and then quit for a while. I don't know, 7-8 years, and then went to a bachelor party, and we had one cigar, and then we're all like super addictive personalities. So 10 of us then gradually developed cigar addictions, and then I quit.
Sick.
Yeah, and then I quit that and started doing Zens for a couple years. Quit that, and then started doing like I call them vacation vapes, where I'll go on vacation and rip a vape. But then I'm like, man, not everything can be a vacation. Like I started like creating other exceptions. But yeah, it's like nicotine has always been this backdrop of, I think it's self-medication. Because I've seen a correlation between ADHD and nicotine use.
Yeah, well, and there's a big correlation between like ADHD, unmedicated, and addiction because it's dopamine seeking behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nicotine is something it sounds really dorky. I'm like, that is something I'm so interested in that like I would love to dive into more.
Yeah, you want to try
from like a
some?
research perspective. I mean, I won't lie to you. I was pretty intoxicated on Halloween, and I was at a hockey game, and my husband does the same thing with nicotine. And we were at a hockey game, and he got some Zins because we're with like a big group of friends and a bunch of guys who were like, hell yeah, let's get some Zins. And I may or may not have put a Zin in my upper lip.
Nice.
And I've never done one of those before. And I was fighting for my life. Like, I could not walk straight.
God, I would love that.
Oh my God. Like, I was like, probably just a little, like a few inches past tipsy, but like that thing, I was like, I need to go the fuck home. So
they call that getting crossed. You got crossed with alcohol and nicotine.
I think I did. I didn't even know it was possible to be that buzzed from nicotine. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like I could just be like a balloon and float up to the ceiling and just gently bump against it and just wait for someone to come get me. Like I am, oh my God, I was so fucked up. I had to spit it out within like 10 minutes and all the guys were making fun of me and they're like, what? You can't just like upper deck a Zen your first time. It's like, I will not ever be doing that shit again.
Yeah, nicotine. is evil
Damn,
because it's so fast acting that
it's insane.
you could do another one and then that feeling would never be the same. It's kind of like crack.
Yeah.
Like you always chase the first one. It's
You
insane.
know?
You could take like weeks break, so there's no physical dependence, and then go back,
Yeah.
and it's not as if you've never done it. Like your brain still has this
Yeah, it's
memory
like, oh, we know
function.
what this is.
So
Yeah.
even though the physical is all gone, it doesn't give you the same kind of buzz. It's fucking evil.
I I have so many it is fucking evil. I have so many clients that will talk about like I don't feel like I have a drinking problem, but I don't like how often I drink. Like it's not getting in the way of my life, but I'm just not like
Yeah.
I it's a lot of transitional, like young adults where they're just kind of like, I think I'm out of the partying phase of my life kind of a vibe. And so I have a new rule with my clients where I'm like, you know how my old rule used to be like, if you're having a drunk cig and you don't know I smoke, you need to call the Uber. Like if you are reaching for a cigarette and you're not a
Yeah.
smoker, your ass needs to go home.
Your inhibitions are gone. Yeah.
Your inhibitions are gone. But my new rule is the espresso martini rule. And it's really for me because I'm like, I just love being silly. And so if I have had like two, which I get drunk so easily, I really don't drink that much. Like dry January for my husband and I is not watching TV or being on social media because we're like, we don't drink enough to like say we're giving that up and like nothing changes. And so I was like, if I have like two or three drinks, if I'm then ordering an espresso martini, excuse me, which I don't, they're fine, but they're not like my favorite. That's my drunk sig. Where I'm like, I need to go the fuck home if I'm
Yeah.
ordering one of those. Like that means that it is game over, lights out for me. Because once I drink that, I'll be dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
Why are
So
those legal?
I've never had a legal drink. So I've been in recovery since I was 18
Wait, really?
from
I
all
never knew that.
substances besides nicotine and caffeine.
Oh my god. It's you know, I think alcohol is one of those things where it's like I will often tell clients, I'm like, you can fucking miss it. Like it is just I
Yeah.
don't the thing I don't like about the most is the intoxication is very unpredictable.
I was
Like with
very
other
unpredictable.
drugs. I mean that too. It's like you can just be really unpredictable. But I'm like, other drugs, you know the high you're gonna get most of the time.
Yeah.
But with alcohol, it's like, oh, is it gonna be more of a stimulant today? Or is it gonna be more of a depressant? Am I gonna cry? Am I gonna get a fight with someone? It's like, fuck no. Like it's just bad. Oh my god. Do you ever feel like you're missing out on anything being a sober adult and being in recovery for that long?
That popped up more as a late teen.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, I was at a bar when I turned 21 to watch my friend perform.
Oh. What was
But
that like?
that at that point, I don't know, 3 years or so. I didn't really think about it much. It was more like, oh, this is weird. That I never envisioned when I got clean that I'd be in a bar at 21 and not using.
Yeah. And like being in a bar and not drinking is people make fun of me because oftentimes if I go to bars, because I'm not really a big of a drinker, I will often order a Shirley Temple. Like I've tried it with every liquor. It's not good. It's good by itself, just Sprite and grenadine. I get shit on every time and like they're so fucking good. And like it feels like I'm participating in the environment. Like I feel like I have a mocktail. I mean it basically is a mocktail.
Yeah, I will say being in recovery, it makes how infused alcohol is interwoven within our culture a lot more illuminating.
Dude, it's insane.
It's one of the only things where if you're not drinking, collectively a group thinks there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I'm
Like,
curious
what's wrong?
how that's yeah. And it's like something I will say I did really appreciate about Denver's like I feel like culture is moving really largely away from alcohol, which, probably the legalization of marijuana has a big piece to do with that. I think also our generation's really fascinated with health and like preventing cancer and all this other shit that like we know alcohol does.
Yeah.
But it is so interesting. We're like, I feel, and this could be totally anecdotal of like my experience, but I've had a couple clients say the same where they're like, yeah, it's nice because now if I just say I'm not drinking, people don't really think anything of it anymore. They just assume like genuinely I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, you must be in recovery or something must be happening, which like a part of me, I mean, as a person who's not in recovery, a part of me is kind of like, why is that perceived as negative that someone's in recovery? You know, like why are we afraid of people thinking there's a possibility we're in recovery?
Right.
Who cares?
Because I'm gonna steal all your shit. I think that's what it boils down to. It's like, oh,
I'm gonna steal all your shit.
You're untrustworthy. I think that's the guttural reaction is I can't trust you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, especially if you've been clean for so long.
You're a criminal.
Yeah, it's like you're dirty.
Yeah, I had 2 years ago, I had a expired tag and a cop pulled me over, and then I knew I was in trouble because within 10 minutes there were 6 cop cars behind my car. 6. And then they
what did you do? You're a white man.
They looked up my record from when I was 17.
Bro, you gotta get that sealed.
I can't.
No.
Yeah. I might be able to speak with the governor and get some pardon or something, but
holy fuck,
getting stuff sealed or expunged is a lot more complex than people think. They're like, oh, 7 years and get it expunged.
Yeah, I've got mine expunged.
Yeah, but
I think most therapists have.
My felonies aren't running stop signs or stealing stop signs. They're a little more extreme. I didn't rape or kill anyone.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to have a license if you did. So.
But yeah, they pulled me out of the car and got a dog on the car and all sorts of stuff. And these guys came that looked like they were like military. It was crazy. I was pissed.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I've ultimately I was like gave them a lecture and was like,
thankfully you have the privilege to do so. Like,
I was like, what you think I've been a secret drug dealer for 15 years and like now you're gonna catch me with my biggest.
You just haven't gotten in trouble all that time. Like you've just gotten so good at this. Like what?
Like, are you guys fucking retarded? It was so insane.
Oh my God. I do wonder, damn, so you could do a pardon. So like that's kind of nuts. I wonder if you like. No, I bet that's correct. That makes sense to me. I bet if you I would be so curious if you like wrote a letter like, hey man, let's talk about it. Can I buy you coffee? I'll send you a Starbucks gift card. Can you just seal my shit? Like, I know of a girl in
Virginia that she got pardoned by engaging with her governor. So I've thought about it. I mean, there's just random consequences. Like a year or two ago, Airbnb just sent me an email and said, like, you've been taken off the account. We've run a background check. There's no review policy. Bye. And I had used them for over 10 years.
What the fuck?
So like little stuff, just randomly something like that will come up.
Weird. Huh.
Or like housing.
That's kind of wild too, that it's like, yeah.
Because these background check companies, so like an apartment manager, there's different tiers in terms of how much they'd pay for a background check and what they'd see and all that. And so I guess depending on the tier that someone pays for, it'll pop up.
Damn. Yeah, because I think I'm trying to remember what I was doing it for, but I did a background check for, I think I was hiring somebody. I can't remember what it was for. But yeah, it was like, oh, if you pay for this tier, it goes back 5 years. This tier is 7. This year's like full, like entire legal history, which is nuts.
Yeah, it's permanent. Well, and it's like we create these systems for like punishment and retribution, yet we punish someone for life, ultimately with labeling.
Dude, this is like kind of a hot take, but I've worked with sex offenders for a long time. I got kind of like pushed into it. It's a long story, but basically I had to do that for my second year internship. And I ended up enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. And so I became like this unofficial sex offender specialist at every clinic I worked at because nobody would want to work with them because they're dirty, right?
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. We're like, man, they had served time, they had been on probation, they had done multiple polygraphs. I mean, they had all done significantly more extensive therapy than you or I or like
Yeah.
anything I've ever seen. I mean, it is like, it's so invasive how much
Mm-hmm.
shit they have to do. And like, every single sex offender I've ever worked with is like, this was good for me. I'm glad that I had to go through this therapy. I wouldn't have had access to this level of care without this offense, which is upsetting, but like, I'm glad I did it. I'm a better person for it. I really feel like it helped me.
Yeah.
But my God, they cannot get housed. They can't get jobs. And like, some of these offenses are old as fuck. Like, one of my favorite clients I've ever worked with, he had a sex offense from 40 years ago. 40.
Yep.
And could not get a job, could not get housed. And like, man, and he was like, I am so afraid of hurting someone without realizing it that like, he was like, I don't date. He's like, I don't engage in any sexual activity. Like, he's like, I don't ever want to harm someone in that way. He was like, I was really fucked up when it happened. I don't even remember it happening.
Yeah, it's like
He
we
was like,
eunuch them.
yeah, dude. Oh my God. I'm like, it's frustrating because, you know, I think before I became a therapist, I would have been like, fuck yeah, like punish sex offenders for life, punish felons for life. And now I'm like, who is that benefiting? Because it sure
Mm-hmm.
as shit isn't making the life of their victim better.
Right.
It actually just results in them being homeless most of the time. And so it's like, and like, I just don't believe that we're the worst thing that we've ever done, you know? And it's like, it just fucking, it sucks. It's like,
Well,
and there
we
is a,
wonder why people don't get rehabilitated. It's because society doesn't support that faction, where we don't empower them, and we just consistently ridicule and oppress systemically over and over and over again.
punish. And it's like, oh, it's so frustrating. But, you know, I am grateful to live in Colorado for that front because I feel like the rehabilitation system within the Department of Corrections has become significantly more robust over the last decade.
Yeah.
Like, they basically make them be in therapy or in classes of some sort to get certifications for working and things like that. Or, like, if they don't have their GED, they have to be working on it while they're there. So it's like, thank
That
God.
reminds
'cause,
me
man,
of this one continuing ed. I think I was still in grad school, so I looked really young, and it was about like sexual assault and all this shit. And I at some point raised my hand and was like, okay, so I see that it's important to treat victims of sexual assault. However, what about treating the aggressors themselves? Wouldn't that be proactive in terms of actually mitigating harm in the future? And everyone just
Yep.
looked at me like I was a pedophile sympathizer.
I will say there was a girl I went to grad school with who was like, I think that we should actually be focused way more on perpetrators than on victims.
We should.
And I remember thinking she was one of
You
my
hated
best
that?
friends, so I think I didn't hate it, but I was real fucking close. I was like, I think that was just like a little too advanced for the way that I had really thought about it at that point in time. And now I'm like, I love working with people that have been previously incarcerated.
So I was
like they're
I was
fucking
that guy
awesome
in grad
clients.
school. So you probably would have hated me. I would just say shit like that, and they'd be like, "What the fuck? Who
What?
is this guy?"
Yeah, it's like, wait, this isn't the bleeding heart we're looking for. Not that
Uh-huh.
way. Not the people who are like causing harm. It's like,
Yeah.
they're humans too. What the fuck? You think they just want to hurt? No, no, not typically. Like, there's always more to that story. It's so, I don't know. It goes back to that, like, it takes energy and effort to live in the gray and to like be outside of that rigid thinking pattern of like punish, punish, punish. And it's like, okay, but then what? Like, what else? Like, at what point has someone been punished enough? And honestly, every single sex offender I ever worked with was like, I still don't feel like I've been punished enough.
Because they have
Like,
that
I
their own
deserve
shame.
this.
Yeah.
Yes. I deserve what's happening to me. I deserve to not be housed. I deserve to not have a job. And I was like, you know what? That's the whole fucking point of the justice system, is for another system that is unbiased to punish you and figure like, okay, you've served your time. And it's like, you basically got a life sentence. It sucks. And like, I don't know. I do agree with the whole, like, they should be registered for 10 years, probably 20, but like, it's like not possible to actually get off that registry. So it does follow you for life.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like for certain offenses, yes. I never worked with someone that was convicted of rape or anything like that serious. It was more of like, I had one client who was 19 and was dating a 17-year-old, and they were both in high school and had a consensual relationship, and the parents found out and pressed charges. That was the one that was like, it was 30 years ago. And like, I could see it. Like, I could look up because with sex offenses, like, there's also no
They
privacy
put it in the
with the
same
offense.
category. It's so insane. It's all in just one bucket.
So insane to me. Like,
Yeah.
there was another guy I worked with who I really, really liked working with him, and he was a non-contact offender, so he was consuming child pornography. And he was the saddest man I've ever met in my life. He's like, I am attracted to children. It's very upsetting to me as well. He was like, I really see myself as a good person otherwise. He's like, I hate this about myself. And so basically, like, I mean, he's gonna be in parole for the rest of his fucking life because that's so serious. But like, he had a horrible brain injury. And so like that in combination with this offense, it's like he was a no contact offender. Like, yes, is consuming child pornography horrific? Absolutely.
It's also
But
so
he shouldn't
fucking
be able to not get a job.
like, oh, we're gonna protect our kids, but then most kids, like a lot of kids, don't have pencils at school.
Right. It's
Like,
like, what
the
the
fuck
fuck?
are you guys
Also, like,
doing?
and he was like, there were so many places he couldn't work because they were within a certain feet of a school, and it's like, he's never harmed a child. He has no desire to like sexually engage with the child. He knows
Well,
that it's wrong.
at that point, it's also arguably a lot of pedophilia is fetish based or like trauma reformation based.
Yeah.
The best explanation I ever got, it was from like some NPR episode or something, like where these people that have they consume child pornography and don't want to, they create their own like support groups.
Someone was telling me about this the other day. One of my clients was telling me about it.
Yeah. And the way that this guy who leads one of the groups described it is like, you know, when you were 9 and you had a crush on a classmate, he's like, that just stayed there. Like my development sexually, it never developed with my age. It stayed from my first experience of it.
But what about people who are like attracted to like infants and stuff? Like that's what I've never worked with anyone who's like offended against someone that young. I have That's interesting though, because I have kind of like, I think assumed that that's how that worked, but then I was like, I don't really, because in my mind that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it's obviously very gray and depends on the person, but for his memory of how that all started, he described it like that. It
just never went on.
It's like, oh yeah, I didn't actively decide to have my sexuality based on my age. That was something that innately occurred. Because I can remember having a crush on a girl in kindergarten.
Yeah.
I had a crush on a 5-year-old.
Yeah. As a 5-year-old.
But that developed gradually as I aged. It was like within my peer system.
Right.
But I didn't choose that.
Right. I know. I will say that is a big thing that I noticed with clients of like, they're the ones who truly like were attracted to children and they were adults were very much on the camp of like, I didn't choose this and I don't know how to live with myself. Like, I know that this is bad.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
And it's like
when someone wakes up and they have their schizophrenia activated, you know?
Yes.
They're 27 and then now they're just hearing
what
shit.
The fuck? Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are you supposed to do?
But I think we as humans, we want to believe that we write our own paths. And so we vilify the ones that struggle with different scenarios. We think, oh, I'm better than them. I did this because I'm more good-willed. It's like, yeah, you're probably not.
You're not.
Some of your experience.
Right, absolutely. And like, it's so interesting to me. I feel like as humans, we are so dumb in so many ways where it's like, we will see someone who's just making a drastically different decision. Like we see this in war all the time where it's like, oh, wow, this country is like doing this awful thing. Why are they doing this?
We would never do that.
That's so bad. And it's like, humans do bad shit all the time. And frankly, most of the time, there is good reason behind people acting irrationally. Like typically if someone is responding irrationally, one, you may not realize it's a response to something else, and it typically is about 9 times
And they
of the time.
believe what they're doing is just.
They believe what they're doing is just.
Yes.
And typically when you hear their reasoning behind it, it does make sense.
That's why I don't believe in evil.
I don't either. I believe, and like, I think honestly that it's so interesting because I think grad school me that was a bleeding heart thought that it was helpful to believe in evil. And now I'm like, I think being an actual bleeding heart is not believing in that. Where it's like, we are not the worst things we've ever done. I don't believe that people are inherently evil. And I think that all people are inherently good and they make bad decisions, but I think that all people genuinely are doing the best they can at all times.
Yeah, they want to feel safe and they want to feel loved.
Yes, everyone has the same need in that way. I remember like this therapist that I worked with forever ago, he was like, you know, community mental health has like one or two way older therapists that it's like they're absolutely incredible and the company's so lucky to have them. Like everywhere I've worked, there's one older guy or older woman that's like they should have retired a million years ago because they're so old, but they're so good at their jobs. It was that like guy, that dynamic, that guy that said that, and I was like, you're such a fucking hippie. And now I'm like, he was so right. That's so much more helpful to view the world in that way than just
you need to hear a lot more stories and then it all kind of came together for you.
Yeah.
Do you have a session right now?
Let me see. No, I give you the wrong time. I have.
Oh.
I do.
The ADHD might fire up. It'll be like 2 hours from now.
I know. No, I don't have one for another hour, but I did want to take my dog to the dog park at some point today.
Right. We've been on for over an hour and a half.
Yeah. You know, just yip yapping. I've been reading my website and it says, let's yap about it. And I was like, do I want to release this to the public? Is this indicative of like my vibe? I don't know anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I've kind of wrestled with that too. I don't know. I've traditionally kept Tell Me About Your Mother and Miller Counseling separate, brand wise.
Yeah,
but
branding is weird as a therapist. Of like, because I'm like, I feel like the branding, like what would have actually represented me professionally a year ago is not what would professionally represent me today, and that's evolving constantly. And so I'm like, I don't know. I probably just need to pay somebody to do that shit for me and like put it to bed because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what attracts clients.
Which website builder do you use?
I've always used Squarespace, but I bought a template.
So make sure you have the consultation button very easily accessible.
Yeah,
that's like the number one thing
everywhere.
Yep, because it was some research I saw to where if someone has to click 7 times, they leave your website.
And honestly, I do get that because I'm an impatient bitch. So
it's like having that button accessible, and then it's like, oh, I click it. Oh, now I'm already filling out my info.
Yeah, which I have it at the top right. Which my website, the one I have that's like released to the public right now, is like very bare bones because this one is like such a drastic shift that I'm taking some time to work on it.
And then have like a how did you hear about me thing you send them. I found that to be pretty helpful.
I have been asking people. I also told like my caseload, hey, my goal for the rest of my career is to keep my caseload relatively small, and I would like to take on people that are similar to who I have now. Yeah. So I was like, I love referrals. I was like, I have space for like 2 new clients, and it was great. Like a handful of them sent me clients. I'm still working with them. I was like, this might just be the move, is to just be like, hey, I have some spots open. If you have anybody that's interested, just a heads up.
Yeah, I should do that more.
It's really nice. And like, I really liked the referrals that I got. I have a friend who's a realtor who gives the vibe that like she's always busy. And we were talking about this because she's all word of mouth. She's been doing it for so long. And she was like, I think because I pride myself on being really busy, people assume I'm too busy to take on new clients. And I was like, I probably have also done that to myself as well. And I know that because like even 2 days ago, one of my clients was like, hey, like FMLA paperwork is coming your way, whatever. Like, I'm really sorry to bother you with this. I know you're so busy. And I was like, I am so not fucking busy. Like,
I've been busy.
I read for 5 hours a day. Yeah, I'm like, my goal is boredom. So like, and honestly, the beauty of being self-pay too is like, now that I have enough space where if someone needs an urgent appointment, I can easily get them in instead of being like, I'm sorry, I have no time, or I'll have to let you know if I have a cancellation to fit you in. And now it's like, yeah, I can see you in a couple of hours. Does that sound good? And like, this is great. I'm like, I'm not too busy. Thank
Yeah.
fucking God.
And then are you letting them know about out of network stuff?
Yeah, so I sent
Okay.
that when I
Yeah.
sent my like cash pay. I sent an email and was like, "Hey, this situation." So I do simple practice, so it sends them
Yeah.
statements
Same.
so they can submit
Yeah.
super bills. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Because
they know.
I
I
think
do.
I told you I've like a number of my clients have been getting reimbursed over 100 a session. So
I've never had a client get reimbursed less than 100. So I tell people, I'm like, this isn't awesome. I mean, most of my clients too have
it's so
HSAs and
weird.
FSAs. That's becoming more of a, I think, because people like health premiums are so fucking expensive now that people will just pick the cheapest plan without realizing like it doesn't cover anything.
Yeah. You pay healthcare to pay for healthcare.
Yeah, exactly. So like that, honestly, talking to you and being like, okay, most of my clients are almost paying out of pocket anyway.
Wait,
And
so
like
I can take full credit for your private pay practice?
a large portion of it, yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome.
Wow,
I don't know.
good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your
That's
rates?
fair.
Maybe I can talk you into increasing them.
I do need to increase them. So I did when I sent the email, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start at 150. But I'm pretty sure I put in my email like this has been the rate since the 90s. So this is what I'm comfortable charging right now, but like this
Mm-hmm.
will be going up for sure.
Yeah.
But I was
Well,
like, go ahead.
what you'll find, or what I've found, is when you start to adjust copy and network to fit the new private practice model,
Yeah.
um, the numbers mean nothing.
I remember you saying that you're like past a certain point, people don't care.
Like
And
the last
I have
five,
kind of found that even with the 150. Like I encourage people to negotiate with me. Only one person did. I was like, you can negotiate the fee. Like, and I put in my email, cost will not be a barrier. So if you absolutely still have to use your
yeah,
insurance, because I
that's
have
what
a
I
few
did.
people like they don't have a copay. So I'm like, okay, I wouldn't be willing to do that
Yeah, it's
personally if I
zero
had
dollars
no
usually.
copay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like for those people, and I was like, okay, dealing with insurance and accepting payment for zero copay is actually super easy for me. I was like, that's not a like a heavy lift, so I don't really mind.
So
And like getting paid all at once is easier, but yeah, I don't
what
know.
I did recently, this last couple of months, is I traditionally would have 45-minute sessions, and those were
Uh-huh.
180.
Uh-huh.
And then I added a 60-minute session option at
Yeah.
240.
Yeah.
And then now anyone that I take on, um, yeah, the last five, they haven't said anything about pricing or anything. And so I just put them
Yeah.
as the 60-minute.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's like,
I
that's
think I
like
could do that.
that's the not generic. What am I thinking about the word? That's the default, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
default is the 60-minute. But then if
Yeah.
they start talking about pricing and all that, I'll tell them,
Yeah.
oh, I have a 45 and a 60-minute option.
Yeah. Yeah, which
But
honestly I'll
like
probably do that next
a lot
year.
of the
Like
clientele is they have generational wealth and like they have stuff I don't have, and
and you
like my
know, when you
money is
said that, I was like,
what I've
damn.
made. You know, like I don't
Yeah,
get
same.
anything else. But a lot of millennials, they have fucking rich
Families and
ass
money.
parents.
Dude,
Or
I know. And like I've been financially independent of my family since I was 17. Actually, even sooner than that, but like
yeah.
truly like 100%.
But that's
They
my
have
own
never
shit.
helped me.
Assuming that people
Yeah.
see and think about money the way that I do, when all actuality
Yeah.
is a lot of millennials they're getting fucking handouts. Like I think it was like
Dude.
40 or 50% of millennials that have bought houses in the last 5 years, their
Uh,
parents put a huge down payment on.
I saw that article and I nearly lost my shit because I own my house and I bought it myself. And
Yeah.
I was like, I thought that I was like late to the game. And I was
No,
like,
we got
man, I only
fucked.
own a townhouse. We did get fucked.
Really bad.
Fucked. Like,
Yeah.
my parents cannot help me at all. And like, I feel like all my friends' parents are so wealthy. And I'm like, what the fuck happened here? Like, I did
Yeah.
not. And I remember in high school, there was this kid who was like, oh, aren't you rich? And I was like, no, bitch, my friends are rich. Like, I don't have fucking
Same.
anything.
Yeah.
I've had to steal food from the grocery store. I've
My
gone
friends had
hungry. Like,
mansions on Lake Norman.
fucking kill me. Yeah, I'm like, I literally
But
have like,
then like my parents, like my dad owned a small shop, like a
mhm.
flower shop. My mom was a teacher.
That's
They didn't
cool.
make a lot, but they were still able to have a ranch house. For me, I make
Yeah.
way more than they would have made if you like compare it.
I
And
mean, yeah.
I can't afford a house here. There's no way. I mean, the houses
Dude,
started
honestly,
like
that was a big
600.
reason we decided not to move there because we realized like, oh, the cost of living is actually like pretty equivalent to Denver. And like we're not actually saving money by
Mm-mm.
moving. So we just decided not to move.
Yeah, stay
Like
in
North
Denver.
Carolina is
Denver's
being
cool.
expensive. It's nuts. And then I'm like, and we already own a house here, like, and like we
I usually
love it.
I usually go skiing up there, but I don't think I'm gonna go this year. You guys
Oh, there's
ski or
not very
anything?
much snow, so you're not missing anything. No, my husband is an ex-pro rugby player, and that man has had so many fucking injuries, and I was like, your ass is never getting on a mountain again.
Yeah.
That's not happening. No, no, no. I also don't believe in health insurance. I haven't had it in years. I pay
Yeah, me
cash for
neither.
everything. So you will not catch my ass on a mountain. Also, if there are not people of color doing an activity, I'm not doing it. Like that's a rule of thumb for me. I'm like, if there's a lot of white people doing it, I'm gonna assume it's stupid. I'm not fucking going.
I probably need to get catastrophic because I rock climb and all that.
I
So,
think you can only get catastrophic if you add it to a regular plan, though, is what I've always
oh
heard.
really?
Because I've tried to do that. But you know what? I have so many friends like work in ERs, and I have enough clients that are physicians where I've asked them like, okay, what's the cash rate of like going to the ER? It's about $2,500 a day without insurance. And I was like, that's a lot cheaper than it would be with insurance. So I still feel
Yeah.
okay about it.
Yeah, I got hit in the head by a rock when I was belaying a couple years back and got super concussed. And I had to go in and get an MRI, like or something, brain scan. And then it was $1,000 or something, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not fucking paying that. And I got
No.
calls from like a collector for 6 months or something, and then they disappeared, and it didn't hit my credit or anything. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I have like an old medical bill. So fucking stupid. My appendix burst when I was a freshman in college, and my parents divorced when I was like
What did that feel like?
15. My appendix bursting,
Yeah,
dude, it was terrible. It actually, it was
it
really
just like all at
strange.
once happened, just a pain.
I woke up and it was happening.
Holy
So I
shit!
woke up and it felt like a really severe food poisoning, and so or like a cramp. I don't know. It was a weird sensation.
That's insane.
But it wasn't an immediate like, oh, I definitely it was one of two times in my life I've had to go to the ER. And I had a friend staying with me. It was like I was like 6 months into being in college, and I went to my bathroom and I kept trying to like lay down and like move in different directions. So I was like, "Ah, I feel like I need to go to the bathroom, but like I also don't. This is weird." And it was like 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and the town that I'm from is so small. Our town doctor is like one of my friend's dads. So like
That's cool.
this has happened where we've all gone on vacation and some shit has gone down and we've had to like call him and be like, hey man,
He's
can
like,
you
what do
send
you
this trip to
need now?
Mexico? Yeah, he's like, what the fuck do you guys need now? But I was like, damn, it's Sunday. There's no way. I was like, I cannot reasonably expect him to help me on a Sunday. Like there was something about that where I was like, that feels like it's asking too much. And I was like, there's no clinic that's going to be open. I don't know if urgent care didn't exist or I wasn't aware of it, but I was like, I think I need to go to the ER and get scoped out. And I went and I waited for like 5 hours and I almost left because the pain actually does it like comes in waves unless it's burst. If it's burst, like you need surgery, like it's a medical emergency and you can die. If it just ruptured, whatever the fuck that means.
It didn't
I don't know the
explode
difference in
like a
this.
grenade.
I guess,
It was
yeah.
seeping.
I guess so. Yeah, I pictured it literally as like seeping out. It's a good word for
Ugh.
it. And yeah, I waited in the ER for a couple hours and the pain had stopped. And I was like, well, I kind of have to go to work. So I need to pay my rent. And so I started to leave, and an ER doc they were super full. And an ER doc was walking around just like taking vitals on people and asking about their pain. And they thought that maybe it was an ovarian cyst that burst because apparently the symptoms mirror each other. And I remember he pressed down on my abdomen and the pain started again. And I started screaming and crying. He's like, okay, we need to take you back like right now. And because I don't depend on my parents, I did not tell them I was at the ER because I was like, I also don't want to worry them. And
Bet
I
they
was like,
love
I'm in
that.
college. I want to
Yeah.
do things on my own. Well, they took me back and immediately shot me up with morphine, and I woke up and they were like, "Hey, so we got your imaging done. Your appendix is cooked. You're going into surgery right now, and it's a 45-minute surgery." And I was like, "My parents both live 2 hours away, so like I'm gonna be out of surgery before they're even here." And like
Wow.
I was like, "My dad's gonna be fucking pissed." I don't. My mom literally did not give a shit. Like my dad like yelled at her to actually get her to come to the hospital. She's such a bitch. But my dad was like very freaked out, and I woke up and he was asleep next to my bed. And I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, damn!" I was like, he hauled ass to get here.
Yeah.
But yeah, because my parents had divorced a couple years before, I guess there was like a miscommunication between the two of them of like who had me on their health insurance, and I did not have insurance.
Oh shit.
But
Even though
without
you weren't even 27.
insurance,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was 18 years old, but it cost about $30,000. But honest to God, surgery and being in the hospital for 3 days costing $30,000, like, that's fine by me. Like, I think that's a fair price, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I was like, but it's
It's
falling
life
off my
saving,
right now.
probably.
It was life saving. It
Yeah.
truly was. So I was like, in like 3 days in the hospital, emergency surgery, I think that is a fair price. But
Yeah.
they said with insurance, it would have been like closer to 80.
Yeah, because they'll price gouge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no regulation. Same with fucking. I know I'm gonna let you go here in a second, but the divorce lawyers, those motherfuckers. There's like not even just divorce, just law firms in general. There's no
Dude,
regulation,
$500 an hour,
and it's like
it's
funny money.
nuts.
I sent this email and it's $700. Like,
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah,
and then
dude,
here we are, like, oh, it'll be 180, please.
please, sir. You know what?
Can I have
I
some
had a client.
porridge?
All right, I shouldn't say client. It's a porridge. I started calling my clients patients, and I had one of them ask like, they're like, you kind of use that word interchangeably, and I was like, yeah, I actually want to hold myself accountable to saying patients. And they were like, why? And I was like, well, because if the person who does your fucking eyelash extensions can refer to you as the same thing, I think I get to have a different term.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, the nail licking. It's like
they require patience too. It could be
that too. But I was like,
say.
That's a good idea. I shouldn't say that. But I was just like, that it does not make sense to me that like a life coach or a nail tech or a lash tech,
yeah, that's true.
Their consumers are clients. And I was like, I get that there's a part of that, like why we call clients clients. It's like, theoretically it's about stigma. But I'm like, you know what? Fuck that.
So
that's like I don't think that helps the stigma at all.
That's some of the language now too with mental health is they call them consumers in their notes.
I don't love that, but if I'm not sure what to call someone, then I'll say a consumer.
Yeah.
Just because I remember like when I was first a therapist, I went to like one of my first clinical supervisions, and it was someone who had come in who was like really intoxicated and had schizophrenia. And so they were just really like disorganized. And I was telling my clinical supervisor, I was like, I don't know like where to start. Like I'm kind of lost because they gave me so many different issues in like different arenas. And I remember her saying like, well, what are they a consumer for?
Mm.
And it was really helpful because she was like, well, what did they actually ask you? Like they may have like trauma dumped on you, but what are they looking for?
Yeah, Melissa puts it like this, where what are we contracting to do?
Yeah, I really like that because I feel like
we can forget what we're like. What are we doing here? What is the point?
What are we doing here? Oh my gosh. That comes up a lot. I had a lot of fun around New Year's because, like, okay, what's your New Year's resolution and what would you like me to hold you accountable for? Like, what are we doing? Because it's so easy to just be like, typically problems are fixed pretty quickly. It's like if they do what they're supposed to do,
this is our next session. But it's like if there's more intentionality, that can be beneficial.
Yeah. Which I typically ask you when I start a session, I'm like, okay, what's on your docket? What are your intentions for today? And then I will put, if I assign homework, which I pretty rarely do, to be honest, unless it's like, okay, we've been talking about setting boundaries with your mom for a long time. Your homework is to actually either like write out a script of what you'd like to say, or like you need to have the conversation. Yeah, like make it happen. It's really like I'm sure shit never gonna like a worksheet or anything. But even then it's like, that's a huge ask for clients. So still it's rare for me to do homework unless it's like, okay, you've been talking about this. It's time. Like you're ready to take action.
Accountability.
But I do like telling them, okay, what's on your docket? Because what we're not going to do is sit here and fucking yap about reality TV. As much as I love that, I'm like, you're paying
Yeah.
for my
You
time.
gotta hold yourself accountable too.
It's the fucking worst. It's the worst. But the reality is, like, it burns me out. Like, if I end up just yapping with people, I'm like, you're not my
Yeah.
friends. This burns me out. I
And
actually
then
would like to use my expertise.
I'll feel guilty if I
Yes.
remain unchecked. You know, I'm like, wait,
Yes.
what the fuck just happened for that hour? Like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? Not what are they doing? Like, what am I doing?
Yes. No, it's like, it's my responsibility to hold the frame. What the fuck? Like, I need to check in with myself and be like, okay, what are we actually doing? Because I felt lost in that. I can't imagine. And there have been times where I've checked in with clients of like, okay, what did you take away from last session? Like, oh yeah, it was super helpful, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. That was not helpful at all. I think you just like got a hall pass, which is fine too. Like we can have a hall pass session. We can have like a gossip session.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's only if we're like really doing hard work otherwise.
Clients don't always want to come in and like do deeper, more uncomfortable type of processing. So it's hard
I do respect that,
hard to balance
like, yeah, and you know, I do like having a mixture on my caseload of people who want to do like really deep work and people who don't. I'm like, I think, you know, 10 years ago, I would have been like, oh, the people at our surface level are so boring. It's like, they're not. You just gotta, that to me typically just means like I have to teach them how to go deeper. They just don't know that skill yet.
Sometimes
also, they're not broken if they don't want to.
Yeah, like sometimes they just want to sit on the front porch and swing with some sweet tea, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like as I've gotten further in my career, I can appreciate the clients like that. Where I'm like, that's still deep. It can be deep work. Just because I don't think it's deep doesn't mean it's not to them.
Correct. Yep. I learned that in community mental health with this guy who just droned on, and he fucking loved me. Like he fucking loved our time together, and I would leave the sessions and be like, I'm such a useless therapist.
Dude, I had one of my first clients I ever had at community mental health, and I saw her for like 5 years, was catatonic.
Wow.
She would come to session, she could only answer yes/no questions, and there were some times where like she couldn't speak, and she walked really slow. Like she looked like she had the Thorazine shuffle. It took me 4 years to figure out why she was as sick as she was, because she was really high functioning, like had a master's degree, all this shit. And then it felt like overnight she became like literally catatonic. And at times verbally catatonic, where she just could not speak.
While you were working with her?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And she would always show up in person, but she didn't really emote. She was also older, but it wasn't the vibe. Like I at one point made her go to group therapy, and I would, because she just could not really engage in session very well. She had a really hard time talking about what was upsetting to her. But when she went to group, I remember like her first individual session with me after she went to like a DBT group or something. And I was like, what'd you think? And she was like, we learned about what SMART goals were. And I was like, what does that mean to you? Like, how would you like that to show up in our space? Bitch, she listed off all the letters of the SMART goal. Before that, she could only say yes or no. And I was like, oh, this is really interesting, which, you know, probably had something to do with her getting on an injectable antipsychotic around the same time. But I was like, this is really interesting. And then her case was unlike anything else I had ever seen. And thankfully, I was seeing her at an integrated clinic. So, like, her doctor and her psychiatrist were at the same clinic, and I could see all of her medical records, and I could see all of her hospital records and everything. I one day got a wild hair and was like, I need to figure out what the fuck this is. Like, this is not just schizoaffective. Like, there's something else here. Like, I can just feel it. Evan, I went fucking digging through her labs, and she tested positive for syphilis like 10 years before.
Whoa.
And she kept not showing her brain. She had not. I asked her, I was like, are you aware of this? And she said no. And I was like, when is the last time you were sexually active? And she said 1995.
Holy shit.
So she had neurosyphilis.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
It was fucking
That's a crazy story. Catatonic and then from syphilis? Long-term?
Yeah.
Damn.
And it had like caused schizoaffective disorder. It was crazy. And so like, and she always seemed like very calm in our sessions, but she just wasn't talkative. She just wasn't very, it's weird because I could like see behind her eyes that she was completely engaged, but she just could not verbalize very well. So there would be some sessions where she would just sit there with me for half an hour and I would finish my notes. Like if she couldn't answer my questions, she would seem more distressed when she couldn't answer. So I was like, okay, we're just going to sit in each other's presence today. I'm just going to answer some emails, like do my notes. Cause I was like, if this is therapy to you, and I remember going to my supervisor and being like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I was like, I feel like I'm committing Medicaid fraud. And she was like,
Nonverbals are hard. Yeah. I've had a couple
nonverbals
of
are
those.
hard. Yeah, it's really fucking hard. But
it's really valuable experience to have in early development. And if you're a private practice princess, you don't get it.
Private practice princess.
That's what Melissa and I call people that go straight out of grad school into private practice.
You know, it's funny because my husband and I, we know a bunch of people that are nurses, and one of my really good friends from high school, she is a like nurses that are PRN, like they end up marrying someone that's like really well off, and they call them PRN princesses.
Yeah.
And so my husband has started calling me the private practice princess, and I was like,
that's great.
I do love that.